Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. So, the goal of this video is to do a little walkthrough playthrough of the game, trying to show all my tips, tricks, hints, and fighting, and everything I know. Trying to go through and get as much of everything I can, trying to show all my knowledge of the game, so yeah. I'm gonna skip that cutscene. And I'll probably be skipping most of the cutscenes in this game because they'll take a long time. Except for the boss ones. Boss ones are interesting, but all the just dialogue, story stuff I'll skip. I'll try to talk about the story when I can, but that'll be for a different... that'll be later, so... So you start out in Things Betwixt, and you have all your imported gear that's on, and I just took all that off here so that you can see your character is all green. That's you being hollowed. So it's what you're trying to cure in this game. There's a curse that keeps bringing you back to life, and every time you die you get more and more hollowed. So looking all green like that is the result of that. And you're trying to cure that so that when you die and you're not perpetually living. Those little demon things, just ignore. Oh man, I almost fell there. The rusted coin is for item discovery. You use that, it's consumable, and it increases your chances of getting an item. So, from a drop from an enemy. So, not really extremely useful, but pretty good. And we'll go back in here later. There's an enemy back there who drops a ring that we'll want to get. So you want to run down here to this waterfall, and you want to grab that smooth and silky stone, and you can turn that into a person later and potentially get something really good. You can also get these from helping people online, but you're probably just going to find them normally. We're not going to be helping a lot of people online. It'll be as if you're kind of playing by yourself. Again, I'm going to skip that. So, when it comes to names in the game, I like to just kind of come up with something random, something unique. I don't want to be Knight or whatever. I want to be an actual name. So, I like to type random stuff in. And then maybe I see like this R, L, and I thing going on here. Or R, I, and G, or R, I, K. And I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good start, so let's just go with that. And then, you know, you add like an IA or another ending of some kind, like an LA or whatever. I guess I'm gonna try and build a female character, so something that kind of sounds like a female character's name. Maybe I don't like the K, so I'll just get rid of that. Can't really. Maybe I'll just go with this. Yeah, sure, why not?
At least.
So, since I'm doing a female character, I think I'm gonna customize her a little bit more than I usually would. Just because the default female character doesn't really look like a female. Got the really, really short hair, and all that changes is really the clothes. You can make her muscular or whatever, but whatever. Change all the faces. I don't really like any of the ones except the default one. I typically go with like this hairstyle. It just seems like one of the better ones. So, not really sure what kind of color I should go with. A feel like I should do some sort of exotic color, like a pink or a purple. Maybe that'll work. Eyebrows, I guess, are going to be the same color. You can customize all your colors on the bar down there, but I'm not really going to mess with it. I don't see any other color that kind of just matches her skin tone or anything, so I'll probably just go with purple, just like the hair, but I'm going to check. Not really seeing anything. I guess purple's going to be fine. I do like how you can change their eye color drastically. Kinda liking the yellow eye thing. But you can change it to like brown or black or red. That one's not too bad. I guess I'll go with that. Tattoos, they show up on your cheek. They're cool looking, but I feel like they're kind of out of place, so I'm not going to do one. And then I like to go to overall 1, skin color 2, and just darken it a couple shades. Something around here. Maybe that. So you have all your classes here, and all of them have unique stats and everything. I think I'm going to choose Deprived. Even though Deprived starts with nothing, it has even stats and everything. It's all 6s, and you start at level 1, which means it costs less to level up. I'm going to do that so I can build any character, but there's Explorer and Sorcerer. You can see all their items that are listed in the center there. The only thing about it is if you go to respec your character, you want to change, like, if you build a wizard character and you want to change it to a melee character, you're going to have to deal with the stats that the base class starts with. So if you have, like, 12 intelligence, you're stuck with 12 intelligence, even when you respec. So I'm going to go with Deprived, and then all these items here. The Seed of a Tree of Giants is used for invasions. The Bonfire Ascetic is used to replay an area boss, and the Petrified Something is used to trade in something to get maybe a good weapon or a unique thing. Sometimes you get a ring. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to call that good.
All people come here.
Alright, so first thing you want to do is run up these stairs and steal from the Firekeeper ladies. Behind this wagon, I'm gonna break it. Takes forever with the fist, but I'm gonna break it. Yeah, a Soul of a Lost Undead and a torch. The torch is a timed thing, but every torch you get is stacked, so like 5 minutes per torch. But I'm not gonna light that right now. I'm gonna go over here to the left, because over here you can get a weapon. It's not a great weapon, but you can. And even the Deprived starts with the imported set, because you walked in with that. They just unequip it for you. So I can wear all this for armor. Might as well take the hood off because I made unique hair and eyes and whatever. So punching kinda sucks for a normal attack. There is a ring in the game though where punching is like really awesome. So there's also fist weapons that basically mimic punching. It just augments it to be even more damage. So that's something to consider when you're building a character. I guess I went the wrong way. But you have like no range when you're punching, so there are better weapons out there for that. Two-handing seems to work better, I guess, fighting these guys. This stone here is going to teach you how to backstab or a critical hit. I think it helps not to lock on, kind of just get in the middle behind their back, but you know, sometimes people have trouble with that, so that's just kind of what I'm going with. So I got a dagger now. Well, daggers aren't that great, but they're great for backstabbing. So in terms of normal damage, you know, it still takes forever, and it has no range, so I guess maybe I can try to parry this guy. No. Parrying is a little difficult in this game. I know how to do it with small shields better than anything else, but with like daggers or rapiers or scimitars you can parry like that, I don't really know how to use those that well. The timing's different. Man, got sniped there. Yeah, here I go again. Nope. See, in like Dark Souls 1 or 3, you would have totally gotten that, but in 2 it's super precise. Let's just kill him. I'm running through here pretty fast here because it's not that entertaining. Alright, kick the ladder down. And then here, this nest is the twin crows of this game, which you can drop that smooth and silky stone and the petrified something for items. And you can drop as many of those as you want as long as you drop them one at a time. So the silky stone gave me a poison stone for poison weapons later. And the petrified something gave me the white ring, which I don't really like the white ring. Why? There are much better weapons you can get. The white ring is one of a kind, though. You can't get it anywhere else. You have to trade it in and hope you get it, if you really want it, but makes you look like a phantom, so if you summon help when you're getting invaded, you'll be all glowy white, and then they won't know who the host is unless they remember the name or whatever. I'm not gonna wear it. And then fall down here and get another soul, which we'll probably consume later whenever we need to level up. But I'm just gonna put that away for now. This guy. You see a lot of these people in imported clothes, so they're basically exactly like you. They came here and they were, I guess, wearing the outfit of wherever you came from, and they're kind of on a journey to cure the curse, except they kind of found out it's hopeless, or they lost all hope in trying to actually beat the quest. So when you lose hope, when you don't have a reason to basically exist anymore, you go completely hollow, which makes you go insane. So try to do plunging attack here. It really didn't do that much damage to him. But yeah, when you go completely hollow, you lose your mind, and you go insane and attack anybody you see. So technically, all these people are the same as you, they've just gone crazy. And they're, like, green-skinned and everything, which, like... So, I was green-skinned, and in one of the cutscenes, they give you a human effigy, and then... Now I'm, like, human-looking. Well, when you go completely hollow, there's no return. So you'll be forever green-skinned, you'll be forever rotting, and you'll be completely insane. So, yeah. That's kind of what's going on here. We can come back in this room later. But there's a statue blocking the way, so... I'm gonna run ahead now. Kinda halfway to the main bonfire of the game. Main area that you want to go to. So Majula is basically the area of the game you're going to be at most. You're going to come here to level up, you're going to come here to upgrade, and there's an item down there. I'm going to get that in a second here. You see these blood stains of people who apparently didn't make this fall, which isn't that hard of a fall, but somehow they didn't make it. You come here, you can pick up a Morning Star and a Cleric Sacred Chime. The chimes are for miracles, and miracles are used for like healing or other stuff like removing status effects. That's a pretty cool class. You also get to hurl lightning. So there's the Morning Star, and the chime is next to it, and then I picked up binoculars too. So the Morning Star is a pretty good melee weapon early on, but as deprived you don't have enough stats to even use it, so I can't really use it at the moment. But we want to rest there to save our progress, just in case we happen to die. And then she'll give us an Estus flask, and she's the Emerald Herald. She's what levels you up. So if you played Demon Souls, it was the Maiden in Black. If you've played Dark Souls 3, it's the Firekeeper. In this game, it's the Emerald Herald. Basically, the only game that didn't have this, like, the Demon Souls, Dark Souls series is like Dark Souls 1. I'm not sure about Bloodborne, but, yeah, most of the Souls games don't have, or have somebody that you have to go to level up. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to talk to this guy.
It is a kind of set and in Drang Lake these days.
So he's on the same quest. He's all geared up, ready to go, but he tells you that, you know, there's rumors that you can break this curse here. And so he comes here on this journey and finds out that it's basically impossible. They're asking you to kill 4 giant beings that are super tough, super strong. They're asking you to kill those guys. Right here, he talks about that.
Each has a powerful soul. If that frightens you, then you ought to just...
So, they want you to go kill these 4 beings and then go to the king of the land, and I guess that's the rumor of how to break the curse, is to find the king. But you can't get to the king until you kill these 4 beings, which is basically impossible. So he says, if you're traveling and you want some protection, or you find solace in joining people, join the Way of Blue. The Blue Sentinels will protect you. We'll get to the Blue Sentinels later, but he gives you this ring, which my health is at 776 right now. Putting on this ring, even though it might tell you, but the health goes up. So I go from 776 to 799. So I'm going to put that on. It's very, very slight, but it does happen, and sometimes you can just get saved by even the slimmest thing. So this stone here just records deaths of everybody in the world who's played this. If you talk to him again, you can learn a gesture, this welcome gesture, which I gotta equip. I'm gonna change some of these around, actually. I like to use Bow, Warcry. I like to use the welcome gesture, too. I think everything's okay this way. But the welcome gesture, that's what you just got from him. That is used sometimes when you summon in people for help, or I've seen it used as a taunt in PvP. When people beat you, they do that and then they walk away. It's kind of fun. Gestures are really your only form of communication, so. In this house, this is a blacksmith's house. That's this guy, but he's locked out. He can't do anything. So, we're gonna find the key to that. Actually, we're gonna buy it. But if you look in here, let's see if I can get a better view here. That wooden chest on the right here, that has a bow in it. So, if you want to use a bow early on, you're gonna want to get this key, which is in the first area first, like, boss area of the game. So, we'll go over there in the next video, because this video is going to be kind of a prologue. Run up here, pick up the homeward bones, so that you can warp back to a bonfire. This is the Victor's Stone to join the Company of Champions. And they ask you 3 times to join. I'm going to say yes 2 times and no once. But you join them, you can't summon things for help. It's just you. Everything gets a little tougher. But you can get a chance to get these awe stones, and awe stones, you trade them in, and if you trade in 50 of them, I want to say, you get that ring so that your punches get super strong, so you can just punch people to death. It's really fun, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of farming. I might do that later. And this pit goes all the way down. If you fall, you'll die. Even if you land on the first board, we're just not going to have enough health. That is one of the ways down. He mentioned that any way you go from this settlement, that there's 4 beings, and you're going to end up at one of them. So there's kind of 4 paths. So that's one of them.
Time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart. Not exactly the time. Well,
I like this cat.
You may call me Shalqua. So,
It's just fun. But she sells a few rings here. You can get the Ring of the Evil Eye, which is the first one. The Silver Cat Ring lets us reduce falling damage, so we're going to want that for the pit. That's for summoning a friend, so if you and a friend are co-oping in this game, you want to get this ring. Because what it does is it picks a god, and a god is assigning you to a server. And when you both pick the same server and try to summon each other, you have a much higher chance of seeing each other.
Nothing suited.
And then the Ring of Whispers there was just, you need that for one guy to talk to, and he gives you a couple special items, so we'll get there later. This Estus Flask shard we'll need to make our Estus Flask go from 1 to 2, so it gets another use. I don't really know how it works, but it works. So you get 2 uses instead of 1, so that'll be really handy.
Oh, sorry, I could
This guy sells a little bit of everything. Some shields, some armor. You want to spend 1,000 souls with him, and he'll upgrade his stock to sell more stuff. And then after that, you want to spend 20,000 souls with him, and he'll upgrade it to the final tier and have some really good armor. And he'll also sell all the boss armor. Well, not all, but most of the boss armor. So if you see a boss and he's wearing some really kick-ass armor, you just want to go to that guy, and he'll sell it for extreme prices, like 10,000, 15,000. I've seen stuff for like 20,000 souls, but yeah. So we came from over there, things betwixt, where there's that crack in the wall, and then there's that wood-covered archway. That's one of the paths. The pit is another path. Over here to the right, there's that stone doorway as a path. So that's 3 paths there. And then we'll go down the other path, the 4th one, later. I'm gonna reinforce this flask.
Seek souls. Seek the king, lest this land swallow you up.
Usually she tells you, usually she says, like, oh, you have a shard, so, like, she says something like, to see hope, no matter how dim, is, you know, whatever. I can't remember exactly what she says, but basically, anytime she says that, you can reinforce your flask. So, I'm actually going to go over here to this right stone passage. We're not going to clear this area we're going to, but I can get a shield. Really easy. I'm going to put the homeward bones on, just in case. I'm also going to put on this separation crystal. That's just used if you summon a computer phantom or even another human phantom. You can send them away. Or if you get summoned and you don't want to be in the world anymore, you can use that. I'm just used to having it equipped, even though I'm not really going to summon anybody. Except for phantoms that need to be summoned for a quest line. I just like having it equipped. So the Crimson Parma is kind of a weak shield. It's not an awful small shield. And I'm pretty good with like parrying it with small shields, so I'm really comfortable with this. But the stats aren't that great. 75 physical, 30s, 40s, and elemental, and 35 stability. It really isn't that good, but like I said, I'm pretty comfortable with small shields, and that's kind of one of the better small shields early on. A really good small shield later that has pretty high stability and it has like 90 physical defense. You kind of have to farm for it, so I'll probably do that, but that's like more than halfway through the game. So I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know if I'm going to keep it forever, but like I said, I'm pretty comfortable with it. So these guys here that are sitting, don't attack them. They're not bothering you. They just kind of sit there. You can attack them, they're enemies, but if you leave them alone, they won't bother you here. So these big guys, though, we do have to fight. There's a bonfire just down this path, but I'm gonna try and kill this guy. Mainly because when you kill them, you get like 400 souls. I'm gonna have to get something better than the dagger one of these days. I'm really just coming in here to get a couple items. I really came down here for the shield and for the bonfire so that I don't have to run all the way back down here later. And I took a gamble, thinking a power attack was going to kill him, and he has like 1 health. So. Old Knight Gauntlets. I'm actually kind of surprised. You usually get something else from them. Their armor has really crappy durability, so it's likely to break. But it provides pretty decent defenses. I mean, it weighs a lot, but it's pretty decent, so... Since I have nothing really else to wear other than this imported stuff, I'm gonna wear those. I'm gonna look weird, but hey. So... You can fight these guys if you want. Like I said, there's a bonfire. I think I'm gonna attempt to fight the mace guy, and then maybe this Haid Knight in white here. The mace guy, once you kill him, he doesn't come back. That's really the only reason why I'm fighting him. So I don't have to later. Even though later it'll be really easy because I'll have a much better weapon. Some enemies are weaker to blunt, which is why I tried punching him, but the dagger does more than my fist does. Actually, a lot of enemies early on in the game are weak to blunt weapons. Oh man, almost dead. Holy crap. See that ring? That blue seal was probably the difference right there of me dying or not. So even though it's a really slight health bonus, you have 4 ring slots, you might as well wear it. And yeah, so I'm actually pretty glad I decided to put that on. But we'll kill him. Nothing. Pick up a couple items here. I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to stay around here. These guys I don't like to fight, but I'm going to fight because I might get a piece of their armor or something. I can just fight just him and me now. There's nobody that's going to interrupt. Yeah. See, I hate that attack. Man. It's just so, like, spontaneous. It's like... boom, side slash. And they'll just stand there like that. It looks like they're not doing anything. I got a backstab with the dagger, which is actually pretty good. It does 200 points of damage. Daggers are really good for critical damage like that, but anything else, you know, it kind of sucks. So he's almost dead, and I'm low on health, so it worries me because I just want to hit him like once or twice and kill him, but that's how you end up dying in this game, is you just rush it. So look for an opening, try to take it if you do fight these guys. What did he give me? Leggings. Wow, that's really rare actually. They don't typically drop their armor, but this guy gave me leggings. So I look kind of weird, but the armor's good. Good gauntlets and good leggings early on. have 2,000 souls too, so we can use those later. But I want to get this bonfire. That's kind of the main reason why I came over here, other than the shield. And we'll go back to Majula. Actually kind of surprised. I didn't really expect to get gear like that. Wasn't going for armor. More or less going for the souls, because I could kill those guys. So I'm gonna run over here now.
Oh, hello again.
I'm gonna buy the hard leather armor here to the... I mean, he has a little bit of everything here, but I'm gonna buy the chest piece here. Kind of weighs a lot, and it's not great. It's the default starting gift for the warrior. Starting armor, I should say. I kind of like the look of it. It's not great, but it's over 1,000 souls, so I just spent whatever I needed to make a move to his next inventory space. So we'll go back to things betwixt, because I said I was going to go back to that side path, and I never did. It's because I didn't have any weapons, and it would have taken forever. So even though I have a dagger, I now have some more armor, and a shield, and a couple flasks to heal with, so I'm in pretty good shape. We'll run back across this bridge and through this little cave here, and we find some footprints, and then there's an ogre. So kinda not really fun to deal with, especially early on. They just have very slow attacks, so you might be able to get a hit in, but I'd wait for him to fall backwards. He likes to do that. Which, for whatever reason, he's not doing that. There we go. When he does that, you can usually hit him a couple times. Back off. I'm gonna stab him. Right? Or just two-hand that. Wonder how much a stab does. See, an enemy like this might be weak to thrusting attacks. So the dagger has a stab thrust attack. Yeah, they did like 100 damage, so I think that's more effective. Wait for that attack and just get a few stabs in, back off. There's really no point in trying to block this guy. He'll stagger you and you'll get hurt, so just try and roll out of the way. Wait for him to make a mistake. Come on. Stab, stab, stab. You gotta let go of. Come on. Okay, 1,000 souls. So, if you wanted to, you could have killed him to get the gear too, but the stone ring is also one of the earliest rings you can get. Additional reduction of enemy poise. Just means that I have a higher chance of staggering an enemy. So, like with a dagger, I might have to hit them 5 or 6 times to stagger them. Well, with the stone ring, it might be 4 times instead. Which is actually pretty significant considering a dagger hits like twice a second. So, that's actually pretty good. But you get the 1,000 souls, and you get that gold pine resin, which applies lightning to your weapon. It's consumable, so once you use it, you use it. But I don't really use consumables that much, unless it's beneficial early on. So that's pretty much everything right now. I mean, aside from going on and doing the forest, which is the first area of the game I'm actually going to cover here, I've gone through Majula, I've talked with everybody, except the blacksmith, but I know what he's gonna say, so there's really not much to do. That house over there in the distance is locked, so we couldn't go in there. This is my current gear. Kinda surprised that I got all this right now, but these 2 slots here are just for, I like to keep open for summoning, but I'm not gonna do any summoning, or I'm not gonna be summoned. It's just a habit. I like to organize my stuff, but I think that's gonna be it for this video. Like I said, it's kind of a prologue, so hit me with it on my wave. Kind of a prologue. Next time we're gonna get into the next area and actually fight, but thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.